Welcome to Inside British Royals. This is your exclusive look inside the world's most famous family. We are exploring the scandals, secrets, and power plays that define the modern monarchy. If you are new here, please do well to hit that subscribe button for more updates. There's a reckoning underway within the British monarchy, and at the heart of it is a cold, hard calculation from the future king himself. This isn't just about managing a scandal or a PR crisis. This is about survival. The freeze-out of Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie isn't subtle anymore. It's no longer a quiet demotion happening behind palace walls. It is now a public and brutal strategic maneuver, and it's far more calculated than anyone outside the palace realized. To save the monarchy, Prince William is prepared to sacrifice his own blood. He is drawing a line in the sand, and his cousins are about to be permanently cast on the wrong side of it. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because we're breaking down the strategic battles that are defining the future of the crown. To really get why William is making these moves, you have to understand just how toxic the problem he's trying to contain has become. For years, the scandals surrounding Prince Andrew were a slow-burning fire. But in late 2025 and early 2026, that fire exploded into an inferno that now threatens to consume the entire institution. It started with the final, humiliating eviction of Andrew and Sarah Ferguson from Royal Lodge in late 2025. That move coincided with King Charles stripping his brother of the right to be called Prince Andrew. He would now be known simply as Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, a man formally cut off from the institution he was born into. This wasn't a cosmetic change. This was a public branding of a royal outcast. Then, in February 2026, the crisis escalated dramatically. Following the release of new files related to Jeffrey Epstein, which reportedly detailed Andrew's activities as a UK trade envoy, the unthinkable happened. On February 19th, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor was arrested by Thames Valley Police on suspicion of misconduct in public office. He was questioned for nearly 12 hours before being released under investigation. While the palace was tight-lipped, the news went global. King Charles issued a terse statement expressing deepest concern and declaring that the law must take its course. That arrest was the final nail in the coffin for the House of York. The family brand had become radioactive. But the problem was no longer just about Andrew. The toxic fallout was spreading directly to his two daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. For a forward-looking Prince of Wales, a man obsessed with securing the monarchy's future, this wasn't just a family crisis. It was a full-blown institutional threat. The time for quiet fixes was over. A strategic purge was now a necessity. The first clear, public signal of this new, ruthless strategy came with a devastatingly symbolic blow. In late February and early March 2026, it was reported that Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie had been banned from attending Royal Ascot. Let's be crystal clear about what this means. Royal Ascot isn't just a horse race. It's the glittering heart of the royal summer, an event steeped in 300 years of tradition where the monarchy puts its stability and power on full display. The daily royal procession, with senior royals and horse-drawn carriages, is a carefully staged show of who is in and who is out. For Beatrice and Eugenie, who had been part of that procession for years, this wasn't just a snub. It was a public excommunication. According to a source who spoke to the Mail on Sunday, the news was delivered without any warning. I've spoken to my friend who works at Ascot, the insider revealed, and they said the girls have been told they can't be there this year. The report added that Beatrice was completely blindsided and had taken the news especially hard. But the ban was just the beginning. The sisters were reportedly barred not just from the procession, but from the royal box and any official role at the event. Sources claimed this was part of a wider decision to exclude the princesses from all public-facing events for the foreseeable future. To make matters worse, it was also reported that Prince William had advised other royals not to be seen in any photographs with Beatrice and Eugenie for the rest of the year. This is the royal equivalent of a social and professional death sentence. The message was unmistakable. The York brand is toxic, and the future king will not allow its stain to spread to his clean, streamlined vision of the monarchy. William, according to some, has shifted into war mode, and his cousins are now acceptable collateral damage in the fight to protect the crown. So, what's driving this hardline approach from the Prince of Wales? One word: strategy. This isn't personal. It's a cold, calculated decision by a man who has watched the monarchy get battered by one scandal after another. Prince William is playing the long game, and he's decided the risk posed by the Yorks is simply too great. For years, William has reportedly been frustrated by his father's more forgiving stance toward Andrew. He has long been a champion of a slimmed-down monarchy, an idea his father started, but which William is now executing with ruthless efficiency. The strategy is simple: consolidate the firm's reputation around a small, untouchable core: himself, the Princess of Wales, and their children. Everyone else is, to some degree, expendable. This wasn't happening in a vacuum. Just hours after the Ascot ban was reported, William's office announced he had appointed Jesper Brodin, the former CEO of IKEA, as the new chairman for his Earthshot Prize. The move was a masterclass in strategic messaging. As one part of the family was being cast out for its toxic past, William was aligning himself with a global business leader and cementing his image as a modern, forward-thinking statesman. The message was clear: his focus is on the future, and he won't be dragged down by the problems of the past. Royal expert Richard Fitzwilliams noted that it may fall to William to make a decision on the future of Beatrice and Eugenie. The relationship is reportedly not a close one. Sources claim William and Catherine have never been particularly warm with the York sisters, and that distance has only grown. For William, family feelings can't be allowed to jeopardize the thousand-year-old institution he's set to inherit. He is proving to be far more of a pragmatist than his father, willing to make the tough cuts to ensure the crown's survival. He's proving he's just too smart to risk it all for. In this high-stakes chess game for the monarchy's survival, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie are the collateral damage. They're caught in a devastating crossfire, punished not for their own actions, but for the unforgivable sins of their father and the chaotic drama surrounding their mother. For years, the sisters have walked a tightrope. They are princesses with HRH styles, but they aren't working royals and get no public funding. They've tried to build their own lives: Beatrice in finance and tech, Eugenie as an art gallery director and co-founder of the Anti-Slavery Collective. They tried to find a space that blended their royal status with modern independence. But their parents' implosion has made that impossible. The toxic brand of the House of York is now stuck to them. Reports suggest Beatrice, fiercely loyal to her parents, has been left haunted by the fallout, with the Ascot ban hitting her the hardest. The professional consequences could be severe. How can Eugenie effectively run an anti-slavery charity when her family name is so deeply entangled with a convicted sex trafficker like Jeffrey Epstein? The association is a PR nightmare few organizations can afford. There is a tragic element to their situation. One poll showed that over 50% of the British public now believes the princesses are too tainted by association to ever represent the royal family again. While expert Jenny Bond has suggested they need full transparency and honesty to have a chance, other commentators like Andrew Loney argue that their titles are precisely the problem, as they are used to open doors in the business world. They are now in an impossible position, defined by a scandal they didn't create and exiled by a cousin who has decided they are a liability he can no longer afford. The move to sideline Beatrice and Eugenie is more than just a reaction to a scandal. It's the blueprint for the reign of William V. This is the slimmed-down monarchy in its most brutal form, an institution stripped down to its core assets, with all liabilities cut loose. We've seen this before. The firm handling of Harry and Meghan's departure was the first sign of William's zero-tolerance policy for anything that threatens the core family unit. With the Yorks, he's reinforcing that boundary. You're either inside the fortress or you're out. There's no middle ground. This is the new power structure solidifying. While King Charles may have hesitated, William's reported hardline approach is what's shaping the family's future. It also sends a clear message to the rest of the extended family. Royal expert Richard Fitzwilliams has suggested that if William does oust his cousins, he would have the full support of other royals like Zara Tindall, whose loyalty is to the institution above all. This builds a powerful coalition around the future king. The question of their titles is the final piece of the puzzle. Commentator Andrew Loney has argued the sisters should voluntarily renounce their HRH and princess titles to finally break free from the toxic brand and stop using them for business advantages. If they don't, it's not hard to imagine a future King William, in his quest for a modern and merit-based monarchy, making that decision for them. We are watching the architectural plans for the future House of Windsor being drawn up in real time. It will be smaller and stronger, but also colder and far more ruthless. So, the story of Beatrice and Eugenie becomes a tragic, but, in the cold logic of the crown, necessary chapter. They aren't villains in this story, but they are casualties in a war for the monarchy's soul. The endless scandals of the House of York became an existential threat, and Prince William, as the institution's protector, has responded with the clear-eyed logic of a CEO, not a cousin. His calculation is brutal, but from a strategic point of view, it's hard to argue against. In an age of 24/7 media and shrinking deference, the monarchy simply cannot afford to carry the weight of the Andrew scandal into the next generation. It has to be cauterized. William is choosing the long-term survival of the crown over the short-term comfort of family. He knows that to secure the throne for his son, Prince George, he must present a monarchy that is focused, modern, and beyond reproach. Beatrice and Eugenie are on the brink of fading from royal life, not because of malice, but because of strategic necessity. William is too focused and too aware of the stakes to risk his inheritance on sentiment. He is showing that he has the resolve to make the hardest of decisions, ensuring that when he finally becomes king, the crown he wears is secure for a new century. But what do you think? Is William being a ruthless strategist making the right move to protect the monarchy? Or is he being unfairly cruel to his cousins? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this analysis insightful, please like this video and make sure you are subscribed for more deep dives into the palace's power plays.